So the expo is tomorrow, which means that we've got time to kill, and by we, I mean Dave again, if you're not sick of Dave yet. Dave, where are we?
We are at the coolest, strangest oddity store in Toronto.
But enough about Dave. We're with Ben, and Ben, how did you even start Prehistoria and the Skull Store in the first place?
I started off with, selling live reptiles, and I'm like, well, if you like a reptile, you like a dinosaur, and it all kind of just came together.
That's very cool.
Okay, this is just incredible. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 10 years now.
10 years, and you have amassed like one of the most incredible collections here. This is the museum part of it, and the store's over there that we'll check out in a little bit.
For one, these are real dinosaur eggs here. This is actually a early ceratopsian, Triceratops family egg, but it's turned into a geode.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's incredibly rare. So these are found in Asia. It's illegal to get them out of the country now, but I bought old collections, and this was from the Haberlin Museum. And down here is all kinds of fun stuff. There's a whole raptor claw. That definitely would have done a number on you if you met him somewhere in the forest. And all kinds of dinosaur teeth. I am a huge nut for dinosaur teeth. I found a few of these myself, a lot of the ones in this cabinet here, like the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I've got a Torvosaur tooth somewhere, I don't think I put it on display yet, that I found on a dinosaur dig just a few months ago. Oh wow. This is a trackway, or footprints, of a running baby dinosaur.
Look at that.
Yeah, from the Connecticut River Valley. And it actually probably had an injury because there was a tail drag. And dinosaurs held their tails out pretty rigid. So this was an injured infant, maybe even fleeing from danger or an attack.
Isn't that amazing that that fossil tells a story?
Now that it doesn't have these non-cancerous tumors, these holes were drilled in during life. These are actually some of the rarest artifacts on Earth down here. In fact, the word artifact starts with these. These are the first tools ever made in history. They're made by Homo habilis, just little sharpened rocks 2.2 million years ago. This is the invention of inventing. It is the first time we actually changed the world for our survival instead of our own physiology. So step one to conquering the Earth and then the stars was this dude flaking this rock.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Want to hold it? But the most insane thing about it, it was a left-handed Neanderthal.
Oh, look at that.
And then as you look, it has finger grips.
This is the Egypt section.
Oh yeah.
And now that's a real sarcophagus, isn't it?
This is a real one. This is from late in Egypt's history. They call it the Ptolemaic period. The Greeks had conquered Egypt, but Egypt's culture conquered the Greeks. So everybody there wanted to be buried like a pharaoh, like royalty, and Greece is like, we know how to make some money off of this. So they made assembly lines, so they'd be producing amulets. This is a sarcophagus from an assembly line. So the face wasn't made for the deceased, which was heretical.
Yeah.
It was even a century before. But the people making these were also illiterate at the time. So they were just transcribing transcriptions and going and playing broken telephone. So this prayer actually has spelling mistakes in it. And as you look, the font gets smaller and smaller because they didn't space it right.
Oh, look at that.
And they ran out of room for the prayer. So the bottom was actually reserved for the name of the dead. But instead, it's the end of the prayer. Yeah, this is basically the Wish version of a sarcophagus.
There you go, there you go. I love it.
So I've got two mummy heads here. So they're like, well, why are there just heads? There's a few reasons. One, it was easier for tourists to buy a head than take a whole body home.
Sure.
But also, the reason you were mummified was so your body would last. And if your body lasted on this mortal plane, then in the afterlife, you would still be complete. Like if you were missing an arm, they'd put a fake arm on your mummy. So then you're a whole person. But if you're robbing somebody's tomb, when you die in 20, 30 years, you don't want that guy to be pissed off at you on the other side and beat you up. So you would deface the mummy. So by removing the head of a mummy, or the hands, or the feet, the mummy couldn't get you in the afterlife. So a lot of them wind up on the trade. So I mean, they got wrapped and unwrapped, and you can see the preservation oils and things they would use to skin the natron and the bitumen. But what's crazy is the one on the right, I bought from the owner of one of the biggest beef jerky companies in the world. Which I thought was hilarious because it's Egyptian jerky.
It looks like beef jerky head,
yeah. So he shipped it to me, and it got stopped at the border. I mean, okay, it's bound to happen. I buy weird stuff, happens all the time. It sat there for 3 months. And then I get the parcel, and I get a border rejection notice, and I'm like, I don't understand. So apparently he put in a free sample of the beef jerky. The beef jerky was not properly declared for import and it got seized. But the mummy, the Egyptian jerky made it through just fine.
Oh boy.
Actually hung in a home or outside of somebody's hut just to warn their enemies. It has been cooked. The skull weighs nothing. It is all charcoalized now.
Wow. And this guy was eaten.
This guy was eaten, yeah. He definitely had a bad day. She found 2 other stray males that are almost her size and literally corralled them into a pride of her own. Just a female-dominated 2-male pride. And they would attack farmers. They would chase the farmers into their homes, basically barricade them in there, and slaughter their livestock and eat for days while they were trapped.
Wow.
So the government obviously was not too happy about lions that were willing to kill and eat people. So they had to put them down, and the skins were put up for auction by the government of South Africa.
6.5 feet tall. Look at how big this bear is. I could probably wrestle this bear. I could take this bear. I could.
I can barely bear it.
In this cabinet, we've got some really big oddballs.
Yeah, so this is my kind of deformed pathology cabinet, which is mainly kind of 2-headed animals. I mean, we've got my 2-faced goat here, born in Ontario. We did his taxidermy and his skeleton. But I've always been in the reptile trade. I love the reptile industry. So this is the skin of a 2-headed ball python.
Wow.
Which is amazing, yeah. So this was born here in southern Ontario, but we also use a process called diaphanization, so we could stain the bones and make the skin translucent. So you can see the skeleton and the skin of the same animal.
Who produced this?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
So we do diaphanization in-house. My employee Dan is one of the only people in the country who can do it.
Oh, the snake.
Yeah, who
Oh, the
produced the
snake?
snake?
Her name's Terry Hardy. She's not like big in the community.
Yeah, I don't know her.
Alright, neither do I.
So this is the only thing here that isn't real. It's 2-headed turtle, but in the Victorian era they like to fool people because you can't Google it to find out if it's real or
Yeah,
not.
that's right.
So that one was an illegitimate 2-headed animal made to swindle somebody out of a lot of money.
Of all the things that you've ever collected that you have on display here, what's your favorite thing?
I mean, I gotta say the T-Rex skeleton.
T-Rex skeleton?
I mean, it's the easy answer, but you know, I kind of love everything. You know, you gotta give me a field. I have like 30 favorite objects, but my one most dramatic one is my like 6-year-old boy dream of having a T-Rex.
There you go. Ben, thanks a lot for letting us do this, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Awesome. We're at Mutation Creation, me and Dave here.
where we are.
They didn't keep him in the museum to display him, which I think they could have. And so now I guess we're gonna go look at ball pythons?
Ball pythons in junk and stuff.
Okay, so we're inside this place and it is freaking wild. There's no lighting here. I don't know why I decided to do this right here. And also there's a bathroom there and people are trying to pee and stuff. But there's Pokemon cards for some reason, I guess, and about 2,000 snakes. So let's see some of the coolest stuff that he's got in this room.
So this here that she shed, so this is just the spot nose het clown. And at about 8 years of age, I had her and her sister look just like a nice golden spot nose, 100% het clown. She shed and she went almost IMG.
I was gonna say,
And,
I
yeah,
could
it
have
looks
sworn that was Xanthic, right?
Yes, but no, just you know, at like I said, 8 months of age. Too bad I don't have her sister anymore. And the only reason why I kept her back is because she's just cool looking.
Why did that happen?
No idea. The color pigment just went away because if you know a regular spot nose, it's more golden, you know, a golden yellow tone.
Right.
And just one day, I'm like, what the hell? And
That is insane. Look at the whites on that.
yeah, I feed every 2 weeks. Leopard Monsoon, 50% het pied female that I hatched out in 2019.
Whoa. Annery Motley IMG. That is one amazing looking boa.
A triple visual recessive male.
So that is a really low light pied.
Yes.
Like really low light
And if you
pied,
see
like
the eye bands, you know, like, I'll pull them out.
Oh, there's here. This is the pied right there.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And then you can see the basic, pied tracks and
Right.
tracks with the belly pattern and the markings of a pied. Look at that eye and the head, the big eye banding. Pastel, yellow belly, cryptic, desert ghost.
Wow.
And then above it is another triple recessive male. This is a hypo ultra male pied. So this is a pastel, super enchy, super asphalt lavender.
That is
And if you can really get into the colors, I know camera doesn't really pick it up, but this is red, orange, peach, yellow, pink, where these are the supers. But look at the difference in the colors.
Oh yeah, now I see it.
Orange Dream, Enchy, super asphalt.
Super enchy pied.
No,
What?
no.
Let me try. This one looks like a ball python.
So this is a super pastel enhancer. Did I guess right?
Correct.
Yeah. Wow.
Finally into the hotel. And I guess now it's time to take a little break.